All right, it's Saturday fight night. The return of Bobby King Green after 2 weeks. He just fought Nasrat Hapkaras, won a unanimous decision, totally dominated for 3 rounds. Before that, he Bobby Green dismantled Ally Quinta in like 2.5 minutes or so. Just matted a nice, perfect, picture perfect 1-2, dropped him, swarmed him, and finished him on the ground. Before that, another. So we're going back 3 fights now. The third fight, the first fight of this little streak, even though it was a loss, it was a crazy back and forth between with him and Rafael Fiziev, and that fight was insane. I mean, I personally thought Bobby Green won that fight 29-28, like 2 rounds of one. I thought he won the first. I think he got tagged a little bit in the second where he might have been hurt. It's hard to tell with him because he rolls with punches so well and strikes, period. But the third round, he totally whooped that ass. I thought it could almost been a 10-8 round, and one of the judges gave it 30-27 for Fiziev. So it's a little, I don't know. It was a close fight. But I mean, that's a world class striker with over 100 kickboxing matches, and Bobby Green was right there with him at the end and looked as a fresher fighter. If that had been 5 rounds, Bobby Green takes that fight, But who knows with those judges? Because, like I said, one guy had a 30-27, and for sure it was not that. So I mean, he's one of the more rounded fighters in the UFC. This is a short notice fight going against Islam Makhachev. Just the rise of Bobby Green right now is so impressive, and it's kind of like Jorge Masvidal-ish, just where he's just coming in and just out of nowhere, even though he's been here grinding and working, but just having a couple performances that stand out and just a mentality change and getting on the mic and killing it. It's been awesome to watch, and I'm happy for him because I've been watching him since Strikeforce days. I've been a huge fan of Bobby Green, but and he's one of the more rounded guys. He can wrestle. He wrestled. He went to state a couple times in high school. I mean, he don't always display his grappling, but it's right there. He's hard to keep down. He gets up quick. That's the main thing. Always hand fighting, always trying to get up or doing whatever he needs to get up, and squirmy, slick. I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. The way he beat Hopcross like that, I thought that was a short notice fight too. It was like Bobby short notice King Grain, like he's taking a lot of fights like that, and he lives by that. I'll do what I got to do. I'm a yes man. Never say no. Every time they ask, say no. I'm gonna say yes, no matter who it is. So I mean, that's definitely commendable. I mean, and right now's the time. I mean, he blows up right here if he has a big fight. He has his first main event against Islam Makhachev, stepping in on short notice, less than 10 days or 10 days. And then he's gonna, fight Islam, who's one of the scariest guys in the division right now, like 21-1, won 7 or 9 straight, something like that. But just dominating everyone, kind of Khabib-like, kick to the stomach. It could be another punch, obviously, or it could even be a change level situation. He showed a lot of good wrestling with Lando. I mean, even though Lando obviously is not a Dagestani bear wrestler or whatever, but he's still he still can wrestle himself, and Bobby Green took it to him a lot more in that second fight in the rematch, and totally dominated that fight. I mean, was really close to getting the finish a couple times, had Lando in all kinds of trouble, and they both exchanged crazy. I mean, that's a fight I'll watch 10 times. Lando and Bobby Green, because both those guys bring it. They both can wrestle. They're just well-rounded mixed martial artists, and they always bring it. Both hands down. Both have their hands down fighting, talking crap. It's just a fun fight, for the fans. Everybody wins in that one, So that's yeah. I mean, after that though, I mean, that's another fight too. That was I think right before Fiziev, so he could easily be in a 4-fight win streak and on his way up. Islam has the, they have that style where they feel like it doesn't matter who the opponent is, they're just going to do what they want to do. He's not really too worried about Bobby's wrestling and all that, but we'll see though. Everyone has a plan to get punched in the face. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm interested to seeing this fight. I mean, obviously it's a tough matchup for anyone. Tough matchup for Bobby, especially on a short notice. Seems like Islam's been. I think he took on Dan Hooker on short notice as well, maybe like a few weeks or a month. And then the fight before that, Drew Dober, I think that was also a short notice fight. So yeah, he's been kind of unlucky to, or either that or just guys don't want to fight him unless they are 100%. I think Benil had a leg break, so he had to pull out. But which that fight would have been interesting. You know, you got a high level black belt jiu-jitsu guy who's definitely going to get taken down, but you know maybe he could do something on the ground that we haven't seen, put Islam in some kind of danger. But this is even even more interesting matchup to me. I think because of the striking aspect. I think Bobby Green's a better striker. You know, he's unconventional, hands down. He's quick. You know, Roy Jones of MMA boxing. You know, I mean, he's slick. He just understands the game. You know, and he can't fight going backwards. You know, like they said, everyone's saying that's the worst game plan against Islam is letting him come forward because of the takedowns. But if you can make him pay and also get up right away, I think, and you know how to fight going backwards, which Bobby's shown in his last couple fights, really going backwards and doing a lot of damage going backwards. So, I mean, I think if there is a fighter out there, he can do it. And if he could just stifle some of those takedowns, make them work, or get up right away, there's a 5-rounder. I mean, it's one thing that worries me about Bobby is maybe as a gas tank because, you know, 2 weight cuts. He just had a 3-round, I don't want to say war, 3-round fight, which he dominated and looked great. Took some punches here and there, but I mean, he pretty much pieced up, hop-grassed. That was also short notice. So, I mean, that's the only thing, you know, I'm just worried about is the weight cut. Like, that could drain him. But, so, I mean, if I had, like, gun to the head, maybe I'd pick, you know, Islam just because he's at a full training camp and been working his ass off and everything. But, you know, Bobby Green, too, he just came out of a camp, so he was in great shape. So, I mean, like I said, more of the thing is a gas tank issue. So, hopefully, he could get it done, get in there, get out, land something big, you know, and finish it. You know, if he could do that, then, yeah, I mean, I think his best chance would be early, or unless Islam does get tired, you know, of trying to wrestle and not being able to implement his game plan and staying on the feet, eating strikes and eating punches, you know. So, I mean, that could be another thing. You know, who knows if Islam's gas tank is ready to go 5 rounds as well. So, I mean, that's going to be crazy. I mean, yeah. Like I said, I'm rooting for Bobby for sure. I mean, not just because he came on the show. I've always been a fan. I mean, I'm always rooting for that guy 10 times out of 10. You know, I don't care who he's fighting. I'm rooting for that guy, you know. So, and in this fight, it's tough. I mean, like I said, he's got a big hill to climb, but he can do it. I think if anyone, he is that style matchup, and that's someone that's not that easy to prepare for, you know, no matter how skilled you are in combat, sambo, and wrestling. I mean, yeah, Bobby Green's he's a different animal. Just kind of goes with the flow, you know. He don't really try to use too much energy and fight a takedown that hard. Like if you are, I mean, he does what he does to has great sprawls, good takedown defense. But if he does get taken down, he is like water, you know. He just flows with it and he works his way getting back up smartly, though, like smart, not just explode and trying to use all kinds of strength, you know, using technique and timing and knowing when to explode to get up or whatever you need to do, you know. So, I mean, it's just a fight IQ. He has real high, a lot of experience, over 40 fights. Islam as well. I mean, he's got over 20-some fights already, so, I mean, he's right there. It's very interesting. I mean, whoever wins is definitely getting boosted up. Like, this is going to be, actually, I think more eyes will be on this fight than if it was Darius, just because Bobby is, you know, he has had a quick rise. And I think it's a win-win. You know, it's a win-win for Bobby. And, you know, as long as he has a good showing in there and does his thing, I mean, he's gonna rise from this financially and just getting better matchups and having a main event. I mean, that's just a start right now, you know, even though he's been in the game so long, you know, but a lot of people aren't on that, you know about him as much yet. So the casuals, you know. But, yeah, he's definitely right there, and I can't wait for this fight. I mean, I'm just interested in it. I just hope, like I said, I hope Bobby could do his thing in there and show. I mean, really, realistically, Islam hasn't had the most impressive, lineup, honestly, you know, or like as far as people he's beat, you know, I mean, not a whole lot of names. Like, Bobby's fought everybody, basically. So, I mean, from the Clay Guidas, who's another wrestler who I was thinking he did it really well in that fight to get up and stop takedowns and make Guida pay when he was going for takedowns constantly. And he also has that relentless style, like a Islam, where it's just nonstop coming at you. I mean, yeah, I think Islam's a little bit more patient than like a Khabib though. Khabib's a little more ferocious and just don't throws caution to the wind, throw everything for a takedown. I think Islam's a little bit more precise with it if it's there, but I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, I just can't wait to see this fight. And like I said, I'm rooting for Bobby, man. I think either one has to get that title shot, or at least like another high profile fight. Like, I'll see Bobby Green and Conor fight or something, even though, just to give him that big red panty night payday. I mean, other than that, I mean, obviously Conor, he's always going to be in the conversation, whether people like it or not, just because of his name. So, and what he's accomplished, he's always going to be right there, and what he brings, as far as like just big money. So, like Islam's number 4, the other guys are tied, top 2 are tied up. So, I mean, there's a lot of fun fights for Bobby just to be in the top 10 right now, with a win here and top 5, whatever, and then he'll be right there. I mean, you got Michael Chandler, you got Tony Ferguson, you got Dustin Poirier rematch. I mean, I know Bobby wants that one back. So yeah, I mean, that's a good time right now for Bobby to just explode and blow up. So I know all the Redlands gonna be rooting for him, and definitely I'm rooting for him. Everybody I know, everyone I fuck with is gonna be rooting for him. So let's go, let's do it, let's get this upset.